Beautifully done. Long, slow, deep, silent breaths. Deep and slow, quiet, even. Focus on the exhale. We extend the exhale to tip our autonomic nervous system towards rest and digest, the parasympathetic branch. So with every extended exhale, squeezing a little more air out at the bottom of every breath, you're extending the exhale. Whenever we tip the scale that way, we enjoy calmer states of mind. So exhale with pursed lips through closed eyes if you're so inclined. And as you continue to do so, now begin to focus your mind on that fleeting moment where the out-breath changes to in-breath and the in-breath changes back to out-breath. Those fleeting moments, we call those the poles of the breath, are where I'd like you to focus your mind. You seek those moments. You may never find them because they're so fleeting, but it's the seeking you're after. And it's that seeking of those fleeting moments that sharpens the mind, the concentration, the imagination, the visualization on the stone of the breath. So emphasize every exhale, hone in on those fleeting moments. And after a few more of those deep, slow, quiet, even breaths, invite your eyes to gently, slowly flutter open, just as a butterfly might leave a flower. Welcome back. Now that we've sharpened our mind on the stone of the breath, we'll begin some of our warm-ups, beginning with yoga neck roll. We take a deep breath in and our head floats like a balloon. As we exhale, we allow our chin to melt down to our chest. And when we inhale again, we inhale and sweep one ear past one shoulder. We exhale, sweeping across the chest, and inhale one ear past the opposite shoulder. As we exhale, sweeping across, we inhale, ear past shoulder. Exhale across, and inhale from side to side. We call this yoga neck roll. That's the name I learned decades ago, so we'll stick with that one. As we inhale from side to side, allowing our inner ear to calibrate with our diaphragm. This is how we make union with our movement and our mind. Rocking from side to side, and we're warming up the upper respiratory sinus. On your next exhale, invite your chin to pause in the middle. Inhale it back upright. Let's work into the shoulder girdles. We loop our shoulder girdles forward and upward as we inhale. We bring them around back. Squeeze them downward as we exhale in big loops in concert with our breath. Inhale, looping forward. Exhale, squeezing downward. Big loops. The area between our shoulder blades is called the Dajue point in the ancient Asian literature. We're warming it up by going ahead and getting that squeeze down in there as we loop. Beautifully done. And then after a couple of more of these breaths, you can invite your shoulders to relax and turn your eyes towards one hand crossing center line and begin to scoop and toss your hands from side to side, scooping with palm up and tossing with palm down, looping and scooping. And invite your body to turn trunk, shift weight from side to side. Beautifully done. This is a silk reeling exercise. We call this windmills. We're just getting the arms involved and warming up the middle respiratory sinus. Beautifully done. And now, as you've looped and scooped from side to side, just reel that looping and scooping into your shoulder blades and loop those backwards from side to side as you rock and roll from side to side. We'll work our way down now into the lower respiratory sinus, the lower rib cage, the lower thoracic spine. We go right into twisting as we shift weight. And this initial twisting has different names. We've called it, one of my teachers called it the constant bear. Another teacher called it the ragdoll. But from here, we'll go into what's known as the prayer drum or the pellet drum. So what you do is use this momentum of your trunk from side to side and begin to tap the top of your opposite shoulder and your low back. And this tapping can be gentle or it can be slapping if you feel like you need a little invigoration today. There's all kinds of beautiful tapping and slapping series in Qigong and Tai Chi. And after you've worked the top of your shoulder, drop to the top of your chest, up around your collarbone where it's safe to slap or tap. And from there, you go from the top of your chest down to your lower rib cage, where you squeeze out that little extra breath at the bottom of every breath cycle using your floating ribs. Beautifully done. And then from the floating ribs down to your hip and the low back. Something we love to call the prayer drum. Now we work our way into the lumbar spine. Our hands drift to our hips. And we begin big hula hoop maneuvers, looping the hips as big as you can make them. Breathing deeply, slowly, quietly, and evenly. And after you've looped in one direction, you can simply pause and begin to loop in the other direction. As we always strive to balance yin and yang, we always strive to balance east and west, and we always strive to unwind what we've wound. And after you've done a few more of these, you can settle in the middle and step out into a little wider, lower stance known as horse stance, like you're riding a horse, a little bob there, for a Shaolin warm-up that's known as the Great Bear Swings. We take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we turn our shoulders and we drop down. As we inhale, we turn our shoulders, rise to pause. Exhale, turn shoulders, drop down. Inhale, rise to pause, and continue in the rhythm of your own breath. The Great Bear swings from side to side, and feel the power of your weight shift as you move from one foot to the other. Feel the power in the hips, down in the lower Dantian, the cauldron of the body. Well done. On your next exhale, pause at the bottom, remain in horse stance, inhale your trunk back upright, and before we leave horse stance, try some figure eights, some shifting weight on a figure eight. Let your hips do the movement for you. And just, your hands can be anywhere, but it's just a little bit of a dance move. It's actually proper form in Tai Chi and Qigong, the shifting weight on a figure eight. Beautifully done. Now you can settle back in the middle, bring your feet back into a comfortable stance, middle stance or center stance, square stance, lots of different names. We shift weight onto one foot, we raise the opposite heel. We do a few Elvis loops inward. After a few inward, a few outward, as we just complete from head to toe or warm up. We settle and step to the opposite side, loop inward. After some inward loops, a few outward loops. Beautifully done. And then we settle back into the middle. Our warm-ups are complete from head to toe. We can now move into our Qigong breathing to prepare us for all that follows. We inhale, our palms up towards the heart. We exhale the palms down, and we continue in this manner. You follow the rhythm of your own breath. You needn't follow mine. But to get the full effect of breathing between these two Dantian, the middle Dantian, the lower Dantian, the cauldron of the heart, the cauldron of the body, the full effect is to use the power of our concentration, the power of our visualization, the power of our imagination. And that, my friends, is home of the upper Dantian. So if you're comfortable doing so, you might invite your eyes to close so that you can use the power of your mind's eye, your own personal visualization for this classic Qigong meditation we love so much called cleansing the inner body. With each inhale, as the hands and palms rise upward, we imagine a glowing mist forming in the core of the earth, rising through the soles of our feet, through the trillions of cells of our inner body, to collect up at the upper Dantian in the mind's eye. As we exhale and our hands melt down, we imagine that glowing mist forms a glowing cloud. That glowing cloud forms a glowing rain. That glowing rain gently washes down the trillions of cells of the inner body through the soles of the feet and back into the earth. So with each inhale, a glowing mist rises. With each exhale, a glowing rain falls. We're cleansing the inner body using Qigong breathing, in this visualization known as cleansing the inner body. Preparing us for all that follows, when your hands rise again, invite them to pause at heart height in a hugging stance. We know lovingly as stand like tree, our meditative pose where we take inventory of our alignment and prepare for everything that comes after. So as we take deep, slow, quiet, even breaths, our long neck and light head float upward. Our heavy shoulders and our heavy tail melt downward. And between them, our spine stretches. This is the string of pearls, as it's described in ancient Asian literature. As our hands hover, as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one. As we breathe deeply, slowly, quietly, and evenly, our feet are parallel in a firm, rooted stance like a mighty oak, while all three of our Dantian are stacked perfectly on one another. They're balanced as if we stacked three smooth river rocks to balance perfectly on one another on life's river's edge. As we continue to breathe slowly, deeply, quietly, through closed eyes and pursed lips, we allow our hands to gently melt downward until our thumbs cross over our belly button and our folded fingers warm on what's lovingly known as the lower Dantian, the cauldron of the body. With each extended exhale, we blow on the embers of the cauldron of the body. With each deep ensuing inhale, we draw the growing, glowing light outward and upward until we begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the heart, the middle Dantian. As we blow on those embers through closed eyes and pursed lips, as if blowing through a straw, we delight in the growing, glowing light that the embers respond and fill our inner galaxy with light, and spill beyond our inner galaxy and bathe the space around us with light, warm, silken Qi energy. May your body be strong, and may your heart be calm. If your eyes are closed, enjoy it. As your hands begin to melt to your side, only inviting the eyes to gently, slowly flutter open as a butterfly might leave a flower. Welcome back. We step into the center of our little boat. The hand on this side of your room or screen makes a gentle fist that floats before the heart. The hand on this side covers it. And together, we take a deep breath in to straighten. We slowly exhale and bow to one another in a gesture of mutual respect. And as we inhale ourselves back upright in gratitude for the tradition, when we exhale, our hands melt down. When we inhale again, we inhale them up overhead an inch apart. Very slowly and deliberately exhale them down our center line. This is known as centering, or centering the Qi. We do it again. This time, our palms come together. And we do this because we borrow so much from the Shaolin. We exhale to the heart center as Shaolin do. When we inhale, elbows rise and wrists straighten. When we exhale, the hands melt down. Now we're ready. We step out into our little boat. We unlock our knees. And as we inhale, we bring our hands up an inch apart. We slowly exhale down, and the knees and hands follow our breath. We float and rise, and we melt and fall with every exhale. So Inhale, floating. Exhale, melting. Beautifully done. Rising and falling in concert with the breath. Well done. When the hands drop to the bottom, let them pause extended in front of you. Then inhale up to heart height and exhale down. This movement is known as opening the door. We like to start here many times to open the door and prepare for what follows. Well done. When our hands drop again, we'll pause at the bottom with palms facing each other, right down here at the lower Dantian. And as you inhale, expand the hands, let the knees rise. As you exhale, contract the hands, let the knees fall. And continue in this manner with your breath, expanding the ball of silken chi energy and compressing it, rising and falling with the breath. Beautifully done. Well done. Now, as we get down to the bottom, we'll pause and we'll begin to roll this ball, small circles. Notice we shift weight and turn trunk from side to side. Inhale to center, exhale to side. Beautifully done. Floating from side to side. Well done. As we continue this rolling from side to side, we invite ourselves to grow this ball, making it a little larger. Now maybe it's about beach ball height. It's, shoulder height to lap height. As you do so, rock and turn from side to side. Well done. Now, on this next one, we pause and we begin to reach outward and upward, and then bring it down and into a little bit of a squat. We inhale, rise, spread, exhale down. Follow this, rise and fall. Exhale down. Continue to breathe, long and slow, deep and silent. Beautifully done. As you continue to do so, notice this movement is actually a form of what's known as penetrating heaven and earth. This is just one of the versions. Rising and falling from side to side. Beautifully done. Now, on this next one, we're going to pause, and if you'll also notice, we're falling into a stance many of us recognize as embracing the moon. So there's lots of different variations of this. There's lots of different versions of this, different names. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause at the bottom, and we'll take a deep breath in, and we'll exhale this elbow past this knee. Then we'll inhale the lower hand up and exhale it past the other knee. As we inhale up and exhale across from side to side, from side to side we go. Beautifully done. This is waving hands like clouds. Beautifully done. As we return to center, we embrace the moon and we settle down. We go back to the reaching out and upward. Exhale down and continue from side to side. Well done. Now, go back to slowly shrinking that ball. Remember where we started in the lower Dantian. Make that ball smaller and smaller. Well done. Eventually, you get back to that original size. Well done. On this next one, we pause. We take a deep breath in. And now you may remember a move we call parting the wild horse's mane. You'll push out to one side, the upper hand returns to center, and you'll push to the other side. So let's continue that. Inhale to center, switch sides, exhale to side. Inhale to center, switch sides, exhale to side. Continue from side to side, parting the wild horse's mane. Beautifully done. And your eyes follow your hand, and your hands follow your breath, and your breath follows your mind. Well done. From side to side. Beautifully done. Parting the wild horse's mane. Now, return to center and continue this movement. So your trunk moves less, but your hands continue this side-to-side movement. Beautifully done. And from this side-to-side movement, we begin to roll these hands. Now, a rolling motion. Begin to roll them towards your heart. You'll recognize this from when we do silk reeling at the end of our longer routines, when we do live classes on site at Funky Town Fitness in St. Augustine, Florida, and here at Haywood Regional Health and Fitness Center in Waynesville, North Carolina. You know, we usually wrap things up with that big silk reeling. And that's what we're doing here. You're rolling from side to side, you're shifting weight, you're allowing yourself to do that little bit of shift weight on a figure eight. And then we begin to simply roll over the eastern foot. So you begin this rolling movement until you're directly over your foot to the east. After you're over your foot to the east, you return to the center. And as you return to the center, you begin and continue this rolling over the western foot. Well done. And as we roll this ball towards us of silk reeling, we then return back to the center. And we go back into two-handed silk reeling. In other words, we begin to flare the hands out to each side as you feel comfortable doing so. Flare from side to side and allow your shift in weight to grow wider. Beautifully done. Now you'll notice as you're doing this two-handed silk reeling, you're really doing a version of what we call in our live on-site classes, Master Wong calms waters. The only difference is we turn trunk all the way behind us, then inhale and switch to the other side, from side to side. Beautifully done. And we make sure we're following all the way behind, and then we return more towards facing front. And just like that, we're back into silk reeling. Well done. Then we begin to prepare to land this plane. So as our hands silk reel from side to side, we shorten these circles. We begin to make them smaller. We begin to make our trunk turn smaller. We begin to bring our hands back into the lower Dantian until we return to holding that ball. Well done. And then we inhale and switch. Exhale down. Inhale and exhale. Beautifully done. Penetrating heaven and earth is a version of this. Or embracing the moon if you're so inclined. Different names, different styles, all beautiful. And on this next one, as our hands drop, we'll invite them to pause at the bottom and sync our chi. Inhale and rise. Exhale and fall. Continue. Rise with the breath and fall with the breath. Beautifully done. Floating and melting in concert with the breath and in harmony with each other. When your hands drop again, invite them to pause at the bottom. Inhale them extended up in front of you and exhale back down. And continue, and you'll notice you're opening the door very close to where you began. In a moment, before we finish up, we'll do a Qigong movement we know and love so well called cleansing the heart. So when your hands rise again, invite them to spread wide. Then as you inhale, draw them towards your heart and sink down. As you exhale, push out and rise. Let's do a few more of these, cleansing the heart, because it's such a nice place to start. Beautifully done. Inhale to center. Exhale to side. When you feel ready to do so, invite yourself to pause with straightness and eyes closed. Stand like tree. With long neck and light head floating upward, our heavy shoulders and heavy tail melt downward. And as our spine, our string of pearls, is stretching between us, our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one. Our feet are parallel in a firm-rooted stance like a mighty oak. With soft knees and soft belly, soft breath and soft gaze, our spine and our three Dantian are stacked perfectly, balanced on one another, as if we gathered three smooth river rocks and balanced them on life's river's edge. And with closed eyes and pursed lips, we extend every exhale, and we begin to allow our hands to gently, slowly melt down until our thumbs cross over our belly button and our folded fingers resume warming on the cauldron of the body, and we resume blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the heart and the cauldron of the body. As we do, we delight in the growing, glowing light as the embers respond and fill our inner galaxy. We draw that light upward, and we begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the mind, the seat of wisdom, the seat of discernment, the home of the third eye center, the place where we enjoy our concentration, our visualization, our imagination. We fill our inner galaxy, blowing on the embers of all three cauldrons, brighter than ever. And we draw the light upward and outward until it spills beyond the space around us. And we keep drawing it outward until it spills beyond the world around us, and it fills our life around us with warm, silken chi energy. May your body stay strong. May your heart stay calm. May your mind stay sharp. May your spirit stay free. Yidao, Qidao. If eyes are closed, enjoy it as we step back into the center of our boat. Very slowly and deliberately inhale the hands up till they're an inch apart. Just as slowly, just as deliberately exhale down. Beautifully done. The hand on this side of the room makes the fist. The hand on this side of the room covers it. Together we take a deep breath in. You slowly exhale and bow, and you give yourselves a round of applause for being the light you make in the world today. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.